Prasad. Topic: what? Spring Boot data JPA. Okay. Mostly today we are wind up these repositories related concepts. Okay. Right. Coming to yesterday's session, so we discussed about CRUD repository and paging and sorting repository. Okay, I explained almost everything. Just the example is pending, so I given it as a homework for you. Okay, have you tried? Tried? Right, working online. Is anyone? Have you tried this example? Have you tried? It is easy. Okay, you can try. Otherwise, I will help you. Don't worry. Okay, right? Because I given entire stuff, methods and implementation also. Just creating, you can apply them. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, you can also work here. Not recommended always copy and paste it. Okay. If not getting, I will help you. Don't worry. I will develop. There is no problem at all. Okay, right. Today we are going to discuss about the important repository is JPA repository. JPA repository. So that JPA repository is also a interface, right? This is also a interface. Okay, guys, that paging and sorting repository related example you have to complete. Okay, if you are not able to develop, okay, I will develop tomorrow. Okay, at least try today. Okay, if you are getting the problem to develop that application, I will help you. Okay, so I given as a homework. That's it. Okay, that don't expect all everything like a copy paste and spoon feeding. You also have to work. Okay, right? That's what I'm giving. Try. If you are not getting, I will help you. No problem. Okay, coming to the last interface like JPA repository. What is this JPA repository? See that JPA repository, like coming to our repository cycle or hierarchy. The root interface is what here? Repository. Okay, if we want to make our class or maybe interface as a repository, you have to make it, you have to use what? Repository from the beginning. After that, CRUD repository. The CRUD is what? The base repository to performing what? Some DML operations. The basic CRUD operation, simple. Okay, sorry. After that, you can go for what? After that, the paging and sorting repository. So it can be helpful for pagination and it can be sorting. So even I given the entire stuff yesterday itself. By default, the sorting order is what? Ascending order. Okay. If you want to use your customized order, whatever may be ascending or descending, whatever it is, you have one enum. Yesterday we discussed, right? There is a directions enum. Inside there is ASC, DESC. ASC for what? Ascending purpose. And DESC for what? Descending purpose. That is ascending order and descending order. Okay, right. So coming to the repository, sorry, JPA repository. That JPA repository is what? Having method called find all method. This method returns what? List of objects. That a list, like I'm passing what? T. T representing what here? T representing what? Our entity class or our model class. Okay, right. So what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of this find all method? It is used for what? Get all rows into the list. Okay, whatever the table you are using or whatever the entity class you are using, this find all method purpose is what here? To get all rows into the list. Like in the database point of view, what is the query here? Like select, for example, you can take employee, or maybe you can take book or department or a customer or anything. Okay, select star from book. That's it. It means what? Getting that book table related, the entire stuff you are getting. Yes or no? Similarly, the find all method also doing same job. Okay, right. I hope you are getting. So there is a method, another method called, sorry, there is a other method called find all. This find all, you can pass what? Some example of what? Some T. You can pass what? Some example. Like what? Some argument you can pass. Just for the sake of what? To put the some condition like where clause. Okay, select star from EMP or maybe what you written? Book. So that book based like where condition. That book ID is equal to 101. Let's assume like that is what we can use find all method. So this find all method also like what? Returning maybe list. Okay, right. Here also, like in the database point of view, you can use what? Select star from maybe book. That is, you can use what? Where some dynamic condition. Based on your condition, you are pulling what? Some records. Okay, I hope you are getting. Okay, so let me give the clarity about this method. Okay, this method is used for what? Is used to take one input. Yes or no? I am passing what? One argument now. Here 0. Now you are passing one argument, right? So, but here there is no argument. Here like simple select star from some EMP or whatever the table, right? Okay, here we can pass what? Some condition. Okay, right. What is the purpose of this method? What? This method is used to take one input, one input, one input model class or entity class, right? Model class object that will be compared with what? Compared with what? Every row data. Every row data. That is, the conditions are applied here while comparing. What that is for what? It can be apply only on what? Non-null values or variables, whatever. Okay, it cannot be applicable for what? Null. With null, how you are going to compare? Yeah, simple, right? It can be comparing with what? Only non-null variables. Okay, right. So here I written what one example, right? So example is, see in the argument here, argument I am passing, right? So that example is what? That example is used to check, used to check and compare, and compare what? Non-null, non-null variable. Sorry, 1 minute here. I'm back. Only where you are going to apply what this example is used to check what? Check and compare non-null variables. Non-null variables. Okay. And find all just what? I repeat once. Continue. Find all, the find all method. What? That find all method just collecting what? Collecting data from the example. This is what I am trying to convey about this. Okay. I repeat once again here, the find all method with zero argument. So that is get what? All rows into what? Into the list, like what? Select star from EMP or book or whatever. Coming to the find all some argument, like what I passed, what one example, that is also returning what? List. So it is like what? Some condition based. Select star from book, where that book ID or book name or book author or book cost or whatever it is here. Okay. Next, this method is used to take what? One input model class object. Okay. One input model class object that will be compared with what? Every row data. That is, that data is only for what? Okay, that data is what? Only non-null variables. Non-null variables. Okay, right. Next one, that example is used for what? Example is used to check what? Check and compare non-null variables, that find all just collecting what? Data from the example. Whatever you are passing, this one. Example is what? Some class here, whatever. Okay, right. So that's all about it. Any doubt so far? Are you clear? Okay, simple here. This find all method with or without argument. Find all simple with or without argument. Simple select star from employee. Clear? Find all some argument. It is what? Some condition based. Okay, right? That's all about it. There is nothing much here. Okay, you can develop what? Some example for that, for JPA repository. Let me delete this one too, or else. I removed entire stuff. Even this one also I'm going to delete. Right? Now, file yaro, new yaro, Spring Starter project yaro, Spring Boot to JPA application. I'm trying. Maven Java version, packaging jar, language is Java, grouping is what? That is group ID in dot naresh it dot prasad, something, our project name, version, some JPA project, something, clear. Okay. Yaro, next. What are the dependencies? Online. Are you okay? Dependencies are what? Lombok, Spring Data JPA, Oracle driver. Why I'm taking Oracle driver? Because I have the Oracle database. Okay. I will try to move other database because my system support only one database. Okay, if I use the second database, today no class. That example related. Theory I can discuss. That's what. So I'm not trying to use other database due to system problem. Okay, there is Oracle, just you can utilize it. Anywhere the same or little bit difference. The dialects different. Okay, maybe that data types some like is a kind of little variation. That's it. Okay, nothing much. Okay, it is indexing. So let me complete. It will take few seconds. No problem. Okay. Ah, coming to our model class or maybe entity class. Okay. Dot to model. Dot to model. Okay. I'm taking that book as an example here. Okay. Anything. So far you are using employee or something. I'm taking like what? Book, it is like what? It is a model class for me. Okay. If you want to create the model class, what are the annotations are required? At the rate entity. At the rate entity. Wait, it is indexing. Okay, next one. At the rate table. See online, even offline. If you want to develop parallelly, you can go for that. No problem. That book name is equal to like what? That book table. So that book table is equal to what? Some book underscore tab. Okay, that is what my book, my table name. And you required at the rate data annotation to getting what? Setters and getters to string hash code equals methods and all you are getting. The next one is what? At the rate noax constructor control space var. All args constructor a all rgs control space var we are getting automatically. Okay, why you are getting the error? That is there is nothing here. That's what we are getting. Okay, right. We created almost some variables I required here. Okay, that variables like that is private integer what? Some book id, private string some book name, private string other, private string book type, private double b cost. or book cost, because I have to create the way the columns also. Now I want to make it as a primary key. Then what? At the rate ID annotation. At the rate ID annotation. Next what? At the rate column annotation for what? Column control shift O. That is space. Next what? That name, column name. Here is what book ID. Na? You can take what? BID. Next what? The length. So 3 digits format I am going to take. That is what? Book ID. Clear? Next. At the rate column for book name here. Name is equal to what? Some name is equal to what? Some B name. At the rate column. At the rate column name is equal to what? Name is equal to what? Some other, right? So other I mentioned B other. Okay. Any problem? No, na? B other. Next what? Book type. At the rate column name is equal to B type. At the rate column name is equal to what? Then B cost. So that's all about it. Our entity class. Clear? Anyone, any doubt? Clear? All of you. Online, the regular process only here. Nothing special here. Okay? Right. So now, okay. Right. I thought someone asking doubt. Okay. Right. I am going to develop one repository. This repository what? Interface dot repo. This is what? Book repository. Book repository. Okay, fine. Now you tell me. So if you want to make it as what? Repository. So far we are using what? Some repository or CRUD or JP, sorry, or paging and sorting repository. Now I am going to working with what? JPA repository. JPA repository. JPA repository. So this JPA repository, in JPA repository, I need to pass what? Two things. One is my entity class. The second one is what? Second one is what? The primary key data type, right? In Java. That is what? Integer. Right? That's all about it. Okay. So next I'm going to create what? One runner class here. Clear? Repository class. Okay. Right. So the next one going to create runner class. Here is what? Runner. Here is that runner class name is what? Book repo, book repo, runner. Book book repo, runner. So then the business logic you are going to develop here itself, right? So that, yeah, then what? How we are going to create the runner class? At the rate component for the sake of what? Creating the object for this class. Next one is what? Implements command line runner. CR. It should be comes from your mouth. Okay. Many applications you developed. Don't be still have the doubt. Okay. It is not good for health. Okay, private. I want to use what? Book repository. Repository. Simple, I'm using what? Repo. Okay. Then what I have to do here? I am performing what? Dependency injection. If you want to perform the dependency injection, then what annotation is required? At the rate auto void. I am expecting all here. If you are silent, you never understand. It is like what? 70 screen movie. So please respond, everyone. So I hope you are manually developing, right, every day. Why you are still having the problem? Please, if you are talk to something, then it is easy to share in front of the interviewer. If you are like this, like silent, they are also silent. Try to understand. This all about it, what experience here. Okay, right. Public void run method. Run method, I'm passing what? Where arc. Then what? Throws exception. Okay, right. Here we are going to use what? Repo, sorry. Repo dot. Repo dot. Save all I'm going to use here. Save all. In this save all, I'm going to just I'm passing list. That's what. If we want insert record by record, say we can use. Yes or no? If we want to insert that list of records, then you can go for what? Save all method. Okay. Save all. I am using save all. Then what? Here is dot as list. Then what? New book of, you can pass book ID 101. Book name. What is the length I given? Oh, no length. Very bad. Otherwise, it will give the left and right like anything, because the clumsy output. I don't want to expect. 15. Huh? Yeah. Be other. Even 15. Book type 15. There is no problem. Cost, you can take 15. No problem, right? Keep it. Big decimal. Precision. Precision we are giving. 10, 2. That is 10 decimal points it will be taken. Okay. Yeah. Right. Tell me book name. Core Java. Next, what is that after book name? Book author. Book author string. Who is that? Some A. Next, what? Book type and book cost. Book type, book cost. Book type is what? Front end, back end? Cost. Tell me some 300. 300? 10 rupees away. Come on, yeah. Software is nowadays this word everyone using like for joking purpose. 5 rupees. That much easy nowadays. Technology doll. This is a technology problem. Very cheap. Even let me give the one example. If you are software engineer, marriage also may be little complicated. Not little complicated, more complicated. Yes or no? Because of what AI? How many months or how many days or how many years you can survive in the IT and adjust? Yes or no? That much cheap nowadays. Once upon a time, everyone software engineer, oh, software engineer. మా అబ్బాయి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్, మా అమ్మాయి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్, మా అల్లుడి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్, మా కోడలు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్. ఈ రోజు సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్ అంటే అవునా సరే పక్కెళ్ళి ఆడుకోండి. సింపుల్. అంటే బట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ డిస్కరేజింగ్ హియర్. You know that fact nowadays, right? Because of what? AI. But every dog have one day. Don't worry. But you have to be what? Patience. We can't do anything, right? It is not our hand. No problem. God with us, yeah. Wait. I am also with you, right? Why you are worrying? Many people. Where are? New. Okay. That bracket. So don't take silly like my life is waste, my this waste, that is waste. No. What I told, every dog have what one day are. Okay, you have to wait until get our time. Okay, come to our concept. 102, 103, 104, 105, even online. They're enjoying. Advanced Java. The other is what? B. This is also backend. No, yaar, I am not interested to write 10 rupees, at least 300. I am really hurt. No, I can't. No, I can't accept. Too much. No. That is what? 400? No, 200. Advance Java. Now what? Spring. Other is C. Backend 300. And what? Hibernate. Other is what? D. And backend just 500. This is what? Spring Boot. How many characters? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No worries. Okay. 1000. Spring Boot, yeah. Okay. Keep it 1000. What is the problem? Huh? Hey, Spring backend. Backend means what? You have to develop the Java code. Front end is what? UI technologies. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, React.js, AngularJS, right? Angular. These are all comes under what? Backend. Sorry, front end. Sorry. Okay, right. Where are now? Perfect. Okay, all brackets are over. So we are trying to insert the records into the table. Okay. Now I want to like insert like object also. Object. Um, you can take book B is equal to yesterday we did right. Object type. B dot what? Set of set other some Naresh book author some Naresh. Okay. And we can set that's enough. You can take am I used anything? Okay, 1 minute. What something I'm taking as what? Okay. So something nourish. Even we can able to set what data are. Okay, even be other or something can take it. I am taking the one example. I'm type is what book type and what some list is equal to repo dot let me control shift O. See, this example is not a user defined here. This is a predefined interface. Okay, na? That is what I have some little doubt. Okay, it is a predefined interface. Okay, it is supporting what? For query by example, query based, right? It takes what? All these safety and can be tuned by using something. Okay, he's the other something he developed proof. This is what the type of probe. This is example creating a new including on what all non-null properties by default. We discussed we are focusing on what non-null that is it is not null. We should have the values for that purpose. It is what including all null properties by default. That's why I'm using the book in our example. It is available in the Spring framework here. See, this is what that package name org.springframework.data.domain dot what example. Okay, right. Come to our concept. Repo dot. Repo dot what? Repo dot Uh, Off is this book object. What is that? Is this off method? See, this off method purpose is what? Create a new example including what? All non-null properties by default. Okay, na? All non-null properties by default. That is what our concept, right? We are discussing where the last point example is used to check what and comparing what. Non-null variables find all just what? Collecting the data from where? From the example. Okay, let me highlight this one for you. Highlight. Okay, example is what? Interface. Next, coming to the exam program. Okay, I created what? One list over here. So, with the help of what? Example. Even if you want to fetch the data, I am passing what? List. List what? Some near what? Let me take example here for understanding purpose. I am taking list. Okay. Then no problem. List repo dot what? Find all what? Example. Example is an interface. Keep in our mind. Okay. List. We are getting. So finally what? You can try to print what? List dot for each method system dot out dot what? You can call what? Method reference. Okay. Println. That's it. So for your understanding purpose is out my example over or my application is over. Okay. This is what my runner class here. This is what my runner class. Okay. Right. Any doubt? See, if we have, see, we are using the book repository for what? What is the purpose? To performing dependency injection. We are using run method. Save all method purpose is what? To inserting bulk records at a time. Yes or no? So otherwise you can use the save method now. Right? Record by record, what method is recommended? Save method is recommended. So if you want to insert the list of records, then we are using what? Save all method. Okay. So inside, if you want to pass the list in the collection, in our stream API, JDK 1.8, have you heard about it? Arrays.as list. If you want to insert a number of digits or maybe number of strings or whatever, you have to use what? As list. No? Yes or no? The core Java concept here. Okay. Next what? You are creating what object? That to what? Anonymous object, that to dynamic we can, right? While executing it can be creating that object, don't worry. 101. There is a book name, book type, book author, book type, book cost, something. Done. After that, we are sending what? We can able to set the data through what? Our object notation as well. Okay. Even we are using example for what purpose? It is allowing only non-null parameters. Yes or no? Or non-null values. Getting? Okay. That's what I'm using. What type are? Book type, or employee type, or department type, or some X type, whatever it is. That is the name of the model class or entity class you can. That is, you are telling type. This is called generics concept. According to JDK 1.5 version. Okay, just I create the reference. Basically, this example is what? Class or interface? Interface. And this interface contains what? Using off method. Here it can be what? Non-null. It can be allowing non-null parameters. Okay, I'm using what? List, that to book type, that list, repo.find all what? This example. Okay, I'm iterating, it can be printing, whatever you have the records. Finally, for our conclusion, our confirmation purpose, just what? Our application over. Clear? Come to the repository. Any doubt? No, na. We are using what? JPA repository. We are passing model or entity class, and inside that model or entity class, the primary key data type, that too, the primary key column or the primary key variable, whatever you have in the model class, that data type you are telling here, mentioning here. Go to the our model class or entity class. So this is the entity, how you are going to creating the entity class. You should annotate it with what? @entity. This is the last example for the repository. That's what I'm repeating. Okay, if you want to make our class as a repository, entity class or model class, then you should annotate it with what? @entity annotation. Is it mandatory or optional? Mandatory annotation. Yes or no? Next, the table annotation. The table annotation is what? To create the table, or if you want to explicitly tell to the database, hey, this is my table name, you have to create this table. We are telling like that. Okay, if you are not to provide this table annotation, if you are not to provide the table name, our table, our entity class or our model class will be considered as what? Table name. Online, are you following? This is the last example on repositories. Okay, that's what I'm repeating once again. The final. Then clear. Next, data. Instead of using setter annotation of getter annotation of toString, right? So equals and hash code annotation, simply data is enough. Okay, right. So this is for no arg constructor. That is what default constructor. This is what parameterized constructor. That is all args constructor. So that ID is what? To make our column as a primary key. Which column you are going to make it as a primary key? That column is what? That you have to mention what? @ID. Then column annotation. See, that is what? Column name. That column length you provided explicitly. Otherwise, you are getting what? Output clumsy in the database side. That's what. There is no proper order. Okay, all are mixing. That's what I given the length explicitly. Next column. Even though this column also optional, that is, if you are not to provide the column, the database table or that database will be considered that variable as what? Column name. Simple. Okay, that's all about it. Clear? This model or entity, this is the repository, this is the runner class. Okay, now what is the left here? Main class, you didn't touch anything, we can't do anything. Okay, right. Next one, go for the application dot properties. This is the big challenge for us, right? Okay, what is that? Property, that key is Spring dot data source dot what? Data source dot driver hyphen class name. What the driver name we are using? Oracle dot jdbc dot driver. Okay, 1 minute. Next, Spring dot data source dot URL. URL, where it is. Spring dot data source dot URL. Somewhere it will be. Correct, na? Here. JDBC colon, Oracle colon, thin colon, @localhost colon, 1521 colon, XE. XE is what? Enterprise edition. Okay. That is the service name. It will be there. Okay. So where it is, sir? You know, how can you find out? You know, na? Okay, no problem. Then Spring dot data source dot username. Username is what? Scott. Again, Spring dot data source dot password equal to what? Tiger. So this is what the basic. This is what the basic database related configuration. Yes or no? Now I want to see my SQL in the console. In the console. Then what? Spring dot JPA dot show SQL. Show SQL. Default value is what? True or false? Default false, right? So if you want to make it like I want to see that SQL queries on the console, then you can use what? To true or else false. That means if you don't want to see, make it false. But by default false now, it means it won't be show. Right. For our confirmation purpose, you have to Spring dot what? JPA dot what? DDL JPA, sorry, JPA dot hibernate dot DDL dot auto. This is for what? If you want to create the table automatically, then what? You can use it, create. If the table is already there, then you can use what? Update. Okay, update. Next, what is the miss? Dialect, right? Spring dot JPA dot data source initialization. What? What is the dialect name? ORG dot hibernate dot dialect dot Oracle dialect. Why you are getting? Simple, right? Why? Spring dot defera. Why it is coming here? Wrong, na? What is that? JPA dot JPA dot data. What is that? JPA dot data source initialization. No. JPA dot database platform. Then I hope platform, database platform, Spring dot JPA dot database hyphen platform. Is it correct? Okay. If anything went wrong, we'll see that. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, na? Right. So now I'm going to develop, executing what? Let me check my database side. Is it connected? Connect. Scott, Tiger. Okay. SCR. What is our table name? Select book tab. First of all, let me check. DESC book tab. No. Only book అని ఇచ్చానా? No, yaar. Book tab. Book is what? Our class name. So anyway, that book table is not available. That is book tab table is not available in the database. The table or view does not exist. Okay. Right. I'm going to execute my application here. You can cross check by using data JPA how it can be. So my application is over. Done. Records are what? Inserted. Coming to here, database related stuff, that is okay. There is a placeholders for them. Something. Okay. Application is over. Let me check DESC table. Created or not? Okay. Records also there. See. Data you are getting. Okay. Record is inserted into the database. But the book cost is what? Exponent notation. Why you are getting this one? What is the problem? Why? Anyone? Data type problem. Yes or no? Yesterday we used what? Just intentionally I keep it WR. 1 minute. Where is entity? Right. Intentionally I created that what? That book cost as what? Double. అంత ఈజీ అయితే కష్టం కదా, ఎక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుందో తెలియదు. సో దట్స్ వై ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ ద డబుల్, then we are getting output as what? Like this, exponent notation. Okay. If you want to get in your exact format, like whatever the value you are passing, that value related if you want, then what? You have to make it as a big decimal, not double. Clear, all of you? Right? Okay. So that's all about it, the repository concept. Okay. Next. Are you good? Are you understood? Repository related? Okay. Because in the real time you have to develop here. That's what I explained each and everything. Online, are you good with that? Yeah, that is the solution, big decimal. Okay. Otherwise, might be you are feeling, hey, I inserted 300 or 3000 or something. Why you are getting this format? That means what? That is problem in our side, the data type problem. Clear? Okay. So the solution is what? Big decimal. Okay. You aware of it? Online, are you okay? Right. So I hope mostly you completed successfully repository concept. Clear? Okay. See, as per the maybe concept oriented, I don't think multiple repositories, just they can mention repository or maybe JPA repository. But we discussed All repositories, even from the base interface onwards, from the repository onwards. Okay, right? I hope you are good. Next, keep the side-heading collection. So, if you want to understand the collection in ORM, then you should be understand first of all in core Java related collection. Okay, you have less time. Okay, let me recap the collection framework. What do you mean by collection? What do you mean by framework? Again, we were going to complaint. Be careful. Okay? Childish la behave cheyoddu. Serious. If you are not understand the collection, you never implement the collection concept in the ORM. In JPA. 100%. Okay? If anyone, maybe whoever go in the complaint, if you are in master, better to come the dais. You can explain about the collection framework. Then I can explain what? JPA related collection. How we are going to use that. Okay. Come to the collection concept. How many of you aware of it? Mostly aware, right? Okay. So what do you mean by collection? Collection means if you want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity, it is not a theory. It is not a kind of like a bookish explanation. You should be. See, for example, see, my x value is what? 3. X value 3 or x holding 3 values. What is the correct answer? X value is the 3, but x cannot holding 3 values. It can be holding the value. Yes or no? So, how to overcome this problem? With a single variable can hold the multiple values. Then what? What is the solution? Speed up. Erase. Excellent. So, erase means what? An indexed collection of fixed number of homogeneous data elements. Am I right? So, int some like this, x is equal to, I want to pass the 3 values, for example, 10, 20, 30, something. See, here x holding the 3 value, but here x holding the 3 values. Yes or no? But in the erase also, there is a problem. Erase concept also have the some problem. Right? What is the problem, sir? Number 1, the arrays can hold always homogeneous data elements. Yes or no? Right? And arrays are not implemented any kind of data structure. Due to this, there is no ready-made method support. Arrays are not implemented any kind of data structure. Due to this, we have to implement that logic, whatever the logic, maybe if you want to sorting or if you want to searching, any kind of sortings, any kind of searchings, you have to develop the logic manually. Yes or no? Like bubble sort here, or heap sort, selection sort, merge sort, even searching techniques, binary search, linear search, whatever, you have to develop the logic manually by using arrays. Because arrays are not implemented any kind of data structure, that is the problem. Arrays always holding homogeneous. Arrays are not implemented any kind of data structure. Due to this, there is no ready-made method support. In the arrays point of view, the memory wasting is more. Yes or no? Like for example, take this example here. Our institute is given how many chairs? Mostly 7. 77 almost. 77 chairs are arranged. Okay, in worst case, 70 chairs. How many of you there in the offline? Yes or no? 5, 11, 14 members. Okay. Even Hyderabad, whoever staying in Hyderabad, especially in hostels and rooms, that people is not come to institute. Why the time waste? Walking problem. If I stay in home or maybe hostel or maybe room, I can do multitasking, na? I can chat with my friends, I can talk to my friends, I can eat, I can dance, I can whatever. Right? In this case, erase concept is not recommended. Yes or no? So, institute, they arranged 70 chairs. Let's assume you might be, there is a 14 students in the offline. So, the rest of the 56 chairs is waste. Yes or no? This room is waste for us. This power bill is waste for us. A small room is enough for this strength. Yes or no? So that is the problem in the erase. The memory is occupied more. Data homogeneous na. Right? ఉపయోగం ఏంటి అంతుండే ఉపయోగం అవునా కదా? Suppose coming to our food dish level, only white rice is there without chutney, without sambar, without any curry, without curd also, buttermilk also. పెద్ద డేషా కొండి అడి పెట్టాడు. ఉపయోగం ఏముంది దానికి? దండం పెట్టుకొని కూర్చోవడం తప్పితే. అదేదో మూవీలో కోడా శ్రీనివాసరావు కోడిని ఏలాడి తీసి అటు ఇటు తిప్పుతూ ఉంటాడు. ఫీలింగ్ ఏంటి? సైకలాజికల్లీ, ఎస్, ఐఎమ్ ఈటింగ్ చికెన్, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ లైక్ దట్, రైట్? యూ షుడ్ కట్, యూ షుడ్ ప్రిపేర్ వెల్, అండ్ యూ షుడ్ కుక్ ప్రాపర్లీ, దెన్ యూ కెన్. Okay, come to the concept. So it can be holding the multiple values, but homogeneous. Yes or no? That is the big problem. Heterogeneous, it cannot be support. That's why we are going for what? Collection framework. To overcome the erase problem. So first, line number 20, single variable holding the single value. Line number 22, single variable holding the multiple values. And there is a problem in the erase. That's why we are going for what? Collection. Collection means what? If we see in the erase point of view, these are considered as what? Elements. Elements. Here is what? Value. Terminology, try to understand. See, in the normal variable declaration, this normal value should be considered as what? Value. X value 3. That's it. But in the erase point of view, you should consider as what? Elements. Yes or no? Mostly we are using what? Elements. That too concept oriented. Even those are also values. But in the technically, you should term like what? Elements. Clear? Okay. Suppose you are familiar with what array list, right? Array list, AL is equal to what? New array list. AL dot add of sum 10. You can pass. Just example I'm taking here. Don't worry. Here I am passing what? Null. Here I am passing what? String. Heterogeneous objects are not heterogeneous. And in collection framework, everything should be considered as an objects. Whether it is a character or integer or float or double or string or whatever, it should be considered as what? Object. Getting my point? See, it looks like a value. 10 is a value, null is a value, prasad is a value. But the technical terminology, you should be considered as what? Objects. Getting my point? The array's point of view, you should consider it as elements. The normal variable, you should consider value. That's it. But finally, all are considered as what? Values only. But the concept to concept, you should be segregate. You should be term the respective terminology. That's it. Clear? Okay. Coming to the collection definition, the collection means if you want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity. Entity is what? Object. All these group of values are adding to the single object, that is what array list. Not only array list here, you can take any collection object. Okay, now just I'm taking the example array list. You can take a vector, any problem. Hash set you can take it, linked hash set you can take it, properties class you can take it, hash map you can take it, hash table you can take it, anything. Okay. But in the collection you are using add, in the map you are using put method. Yes or no? Right? Okay. So finally conclusion about the collection definition. Collection means what? If you want to represent a group of individual objects as a single entity, then we should go for what? Collection. Okay. What do you mean by framework? Framework is nothing but what? Architectural design. Architectural design. It means, for example, you can, before construct this apartment, first of all, they prepared one blueprint, right? One plan that was prepared by the civil engineer. Okay, this many floors, this much height, this much strength, this many cement, or this much iron, something, right? As this much design, this north side, this west side, this south side, this east side, something. Okay, that is what architecture. It means every class inside the collection framework, it was implemented some kind of data structure. Agree? The array list data structure is what? Resizable or growable array. Yes or no? Linked list data structure is what? Double linked list. Hash set data structure is what? Hash table. Linked hash set data structure is what? Linked list, double linked list as well as and hash table. Yes or no? It means every data structure or every implemented class inside the collection framework was implemented some kind of data structure. Without data structure, there is no collection implemented class. Yes or no? There is its own methods are there. It means it was implemented, or those classes were implemented some kind of data structure. That's why there is a ready-made method support in the collection framework. But in arrays are not implemented any kind of data structure, that was using manually whatever the logic you want to implement. Any sorting, any searching techniques. Clear? That is what. I hope you are getting online. Yeah, am I in mute? No, na. Guys, are you clear? Okay. Right here. Come to our concept. Shall I continue? Okay. So, might be we can continue tomorrow freshly about the collection in the JPA. Okay, right. So far the repository concept, even that Spring Boot JDBC, we almost covered in depth. Okay. I am not master in Spring Boot JDBC or data JPA. Okay, because I am not introduced. Whatever is required, whatever the concepts are there in repository, like in JPA or in the Spring Boot JDBC, compared to that course content, beyond that, I given the knowledge. I shared the example and theory knowledge too. Okay, in the real time, and Spring Boot JDBC or Spring Boot Data JPA, you can able to deal the market. Okay. Apart from this, nothing is there. Nothing is there here. In the real time, I'm working now. So I'm telling, okay, might be the new concept, maybe that new version, maybe one or two might be there, but mostly 99% we covered in the repository, in the Spring Boot JDBC. But the pending is what with you. You have to practice properly. Okay, right? Tomorrow, even online. Okay, right? Oh, you given the dialect. Okay, right. Thank you, Hemant. All right, here, that's all about it. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the collection in the ORM. Okay, how it is. Maybe if you need, you can fresh up that collection concept. Maybe